of the swift growing South. Happy Founders Day. We are excited this morning to begin our processional. We are most excited this morning to welcome the Founders Day celebration classes as they have assembled in the foyer of the chapel. We're going to welcome them now in as they are excited to be here on the glorious campus of Tuskegee University. Let the line of march begin. We will commence with the class of 1976. Let's give God thanks to them now as they come. Let us stand. The class of 1976 is celebrating 50 years here at Tuskegee University. Class of 1976 this morning is entitled the Golden Class, as they're celebrating their 50th anniversary here at our beloved Tuskegee University. Let's give God thanks once again for them. Following the class of 1976 is the class of 1951. And before we have the class of 1951, let us thank God for the First Lady of Tuskegee University, Miss Gwendolyn Brown. Along with Mrs. Brown, we have the family this morning of our speaker. We are so excited to welcome as a part of our ceremony, Mrs. Sparks and their family. Let's give God thanks for them and their attendance this morning. Now that we've received our First Lady and the guest of our President, we will now receive the class of 1951. Come on, you all, let's give them a big round of applause. The class of 1951. They're celebrating their 75th anniversary here at Tuskegee University. We have now coming the members of the class of 1956, celebrating 70 years here at Tuskegee University. Following the class of 1956 is the class of 1961. 1961. And we know our beloved Dr. Elaine Harrington is celebrating with her class today. Following the class of 1961 are members of the class of 1966. Here they come. The proud, the excited, the most glorious class, 1966. Following the class of 1966 are the members of the class of 1971. Class of 66, led indeed by our beloved institution. Following this morning, the class of 1971, the class of 1981, the Centennial class. While we are celebrating the class of 1971 and 1981 that are making their way, we also give God thanks this morning for our student leaders. We have Mr. and Miss Tuskegee University. Let's thank God for them. Members of the Royal Court. We also have this morning our newly elected members of student government. Let us give God thanks for them as well. As we receive the class 1981, we are also excited this morning to present the class of 1986, the class of our president, Dr. Mark Anthony Brown. We will now receive our academic processional. Our academic processional includes various sections of our university, and we are excited this morning to have them as a part of our convocation. We have coming at this time members of the President's senior leadership team and cabinet. They include Dr. Charmo Charm, the Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Kelly Bishop Samuels, the Chief of Staff, Dr. Rolundus R. Rice, Chief Operating Officer and Vice President for Student Affairs, Dr. A.L. Fleming, Vice President for Development and Alumni Engagement, Mr. Derek Jordan, Deputy Chief Human Resource Officer, Ms. Tanya Lee, Vice President for Strategic Communications, Mr. Wendell Lopez, Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Ben Rosebrock, the Chief Information Officer, Dr. Van B. Sapp, Vice President for External Affairs, Dr. Brandon Tolliver, Special Assistant to the President for Facilities and Construction, Mr. Reginald Ruffin, Vice President for Intercollegiate Athletics and Athletic Director, and Mr. Darius Jones, Chief of Police. Let us give God thanks once again for the members of the President's Cabinet. This time we will welcome the members of the Administrative Staff Council. The members of the Administrative Staff Council include the Registrar, the Director of Institutional Learning, Outcome and Assessment, the Assistant to the Chief of Staff, the Staff Senate Chair, the Chief Audit Executive, the Assistant Director of Budget and Planning, the Director of Research, Computing, and Student Technology Services Help Desk, the Executive Assistant to the Chair of the Board of Trustees and Assistant Secretary to the Board of Trustees, the Director of Library Services, the General Manager, Associate Vice President for Student Affairs, and the Senior Associate Vice President. We have at this time now coming the Associate Provost of the University. The Associate Provosts of the University are accompanied and serving behind our deans. Our deans include the Dean of College of Engineering, the Dean of the Graduate School, the Dean of the Robert R. Taylor School of Architecture and Construction, the Dean of the College of Agriculture, Environment, and Nutrition Sciences, the Dean of the School of Education, the Dean of the Andrew F. Bremer College of Business and Information Science, the Dean of the School of Nursing and Allied Health, the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, and the Dean of the College of Veterinary Medicine. Now entering the sanctuary are members of the world-acclaimed faculty of Tuskegee University. Let us give God thanks for them as they enter. Our world-class faculty represent schools and colleges that make up the beauty of Tuskegee University, where we award degrees in computer science, accounting, economics and finance, management, agricultural and environmental sciences, food and nutritional sciences, biology, chemistry, fine and performing arts, history and political science, mathematics, modern languages, communication and philosophy, physics, psychology and sociology, social work, aerospace science engineering, aviation science, chemical engineering, electrical and computer engineering, materials science and engineering, military science, biomedical sciences, clinical sciences, public health, agriculture, architecture, construction science, elementary and secondary education, physical education, nursing, and allied health. Let us thank God once again for the members of the faculty. Coming at this time are members of the platform. Members of the platform are those who are serving on program this morning. Let us receive them now as they enter the sanctuary. We are grateful this morning for our marshals, Dimitrov, Shirian Salem, Mary Arrington, Rawa Faraj, Alvida Reese, Kwesi Daniels, and Jeanette Lewis Clark. Can we thank once again our marshals this morning? Now, friends, the moment we have been waiting for, we have coming at this time the president of Tuskegee University, the first alumnus to serve as president, Dr. Mark Anthony Brown. He escorts this morning's speaker, the Honorable Judge Andra Sparks, class of 1985. Come on, Tuskegee, let us welcome our president and most honored guests home to Tuskegee University. As President Brown has now entered the pulpit along with Judge Sparks, let us once again thank God for the gift of Tuskegee University. You may be seated. Let us now incline our ears and hearts in preparation of this most solemn ceremony as we receive the prelude to commence our experience.
Are they not talented in so many ways? Give them another round of applause. It is a great morning. In my view, you look good sitting out there in all your finery. You look good. And you look good. Let me say, in this Renaissance era, the first convocation of this sort's in the Renaissance era. On this, the 108th Founders Day at Tuskegee University in our 144 years. It's important to start by saying we've come a long way. We've come a long way. It is never lost on me as I wear what in academia you are required to wear, which is each president's name that has been here is on this that you see around my neck. And it's never lost on me when I put it on that it starts with Booker Taliaferro Washington, a man who was born a slave. It's also not lost on me that there's a dash and then there's an end point. And it's up to us during our dash period to do something that the world will hear and that the nations will know that Mother Tuskegee has changed this world for the better. And so I say good morning to the long-striving mothers and the diligent sons, the daughters of whose strength is their pride. Good morning to the citizens, the town gown, our honorable mayor. Mayor, please stand. Our honorable mayor, Mayor Lee. And also, in the honor of Mayor Lee, let's say that who is one of the founders here? Who is one of the principal architects who we honor? The true spirit of founder Lewis Adams, who spent countless hours ensuring the continued prosperity of Mother Tuskegee. That's what you call a town-gown relationship, and that's how far back ours goes. It goes all the way back to Lewis Adams making a deal so that we could be here. We're grateful for the Tuskegee-Alabama relationship. No matter what category you fall in, this is one of those great mornings. I want to especially welcome to you to this convocation and this Renaissance era on behalf of the Board of Trustees. And I see some of them here. If you're a member of the Board of Trustees, please stand. Give them a round of applause. They provide the resources and the strategy and the policy that allows us to do this. I also want to say that we celebrate Booker Taliaferro Washington today. And we are fortunate to have with us the descendants of Booker Taliaferro Washington. Would you all please stand as well? And obviously, we want to welcome our guest of honor for this particular weekend, the celebrating classes, the sons and daughters who are coming home, the celebrating class of 1951, the celebrating class of 1956, the celebrating class of 1961, 1966, and as they've taught me the week to say, the class of 1971. The class of 1976, the class of 1981, and then if you'll give me a personal moment, there is this class of 1986. How about that? It really is a blessing to bring it all together. And I have to say, in academia, that's what convocation is designed to do. We bring together all of the elements that make a university work. Brilliant student leaders. Stand up, brilliant student leaders. I see you standing right there. They're important to what we do. The black, and hear me now, the black intelligentsia present in our cabinet, our faculty, and our administrative staff. These are brilliant people who go into the classroom and make this happen. I want all of you all to stand up. Please, all of you. All of you. And we also have with us the eminent associates, those who have given their personal stewardship to this university. If we have any eminent associates, you all please stand for me. Thank you. Thank you for your gift. Thank you for your gift. And so it is our tradition at Tuskegee to honor our past, and that is what we will do today. We're also convocate because I believe we are required by our heritage and our history and the watchful eye of our ancestors to speak truth to power in today's age and seek that same truth through the exploration of science and throughout the lens of social justice. That is why I am incredibly proud today to put before you a speaker who later on I'll say more about, but a speaker who embodies what you want to do when you leave these sacred grounds. Let's welcome the Honorable Judge Andra Sparks and his beautiful wife, Karen. Stand up, Karen. These are diligent sons and daughters of our school. They came from Tuskegee. We had something to do with what you see. So as we used to say back home, we're going to have ourselves a good time today. It's going to be a time. It's going to be a time. Let me now ask the Reverend Dean Cecil Duffy if he might offer an invocation. Dean Duffy.
Let us bow our heads. Let us center our minds and our hearts as we go before the Lord. Most gracious and loving God, as we gather again here on this sacred and hallowed ground, we dare not invite you to this place. For God, how can we invite one that is already here? But we do, O Lord, invite you to have your way in this Founders Day Convocation. We come this Palm Sunday morning because, God, you have brought us. God, you've brought us a mighty long way. We claim, oh God, that you have not just brought us, but you brought our people. You've brought our mothers and our fathers. You brought our grandmothers and our grandfathers. God, you've brought us through the Middle Passage, through Reconstruction, God, through the nadir of American race relations, God. You brought us through legalized and racial segregation, through Jim and Jane Crow, and yes, even Jim Crow 2.0. You brought us through the disenfranchisement of black people in this country. Our ancestors would say something like this: through many dangers, toils, and snares, God, you brought us. When a former slave, Lewis Adams, was asked what he wanted in exchange for securing the black vote, history tells us that he could have asked for money, that he could have asked for financial security, but God, without hesitation, this former slave said, "Give me an educational institution. God, give me a school, give me a place for my people to grow." And we thank you, God, that for these long years we have been beneficiaries to that great reply. And for your grace and your mercy, we say thank you. Thank you, oh God, for the veil that was lifted from our first principal, who in turn lifted the veil for generations yet unborn. Thank you for the gift of Booker T. Washington. Thank you that he has continued to point the way to progress through education and industry. And this morning, as we close our Founders celebration, our great resolve is that you've been great. We say, like the hymn of the great church, "Great is thy faithfulness." God, even in the middle of a government shutdown, it was hard for us to make it here to Tuskegee, but great is your faithfulness. And we consider where we were and where we are, where we yet still have to go, God, we say, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies we've seen. All that we've needed, oh God, your hand has provided. Great is your faithfulness. We thank you for the new mercies created for our President, Dr. Mark Anthony Brown, for the new mercies of our student leaders, the new mercies given to us, dear God, who have even in some way been downcast, put aside. We thank you for the new mercies of our students, these budding leaders, scholar activists. God, we say thank you. And lastly, oh God, for the great cloud of witnesses that continue to cheer us on beyond the banister of heaven. For the founders, the alumni, the ancestors, many of whom were limited in what would some call money, but never in hope. Limited, some would say, in resources, but never in direction. We thank you that they gifted us the gift of faith, to believe in a God who would do exceeding and abundantly above all we can ask, think, or imagine. We thank you now. Bless what our eyes will see, our ears will hear, most of all what our hearts will feel, in Jesus' name. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
All right, now, you can tell I'm excited to be here. I almost got up before it was my time. And you would have missed this amazing soloist. Give them another round of applause. So I know that this is our Renaissance era. This is also a special weekend for us, but this is also Sunday morning. So if you'll allow me for just a moment on this Founders Day morning, I'm going to take something from my first school. My first school was Sunday school. I learned a lot there before I ever learned anything about constitutional law, parliamentary procedure, or even how to spell Tuskegee. I learned something in Sunday school. One of the things I learned was the story of the prodigal son. You know the story. There's a son who leaves home on a journey, far off. Some would even say he wandered quite a bit. And then one day, he decides to return. And when he does, the father does not meet him with any condemnation. He does not meet him with crossed arms or pointed fingers or any of that. He sees him from a long distance away. He runs to him. He orders to all of the people around him, go get the fattest calf you can find. He puts a robe on his back, and he puts a ring on his finger. All biblical times, symbols of worth, symbols of belonging and restored purpose. He was glad to see his son come home. I want to tell you, I almost brought a calf in here this morning. And I want you to remember that story. He has a robe on. He can have my ring. He is a prodigal son. He's coming home today. This edifice, this historic chapel of Tuskegee University, has been the platform for many great speakers and leaders this generation and past generations. And I've had to prepare to introduce them over the last year and a half. I've read bios, I've studied writings, I've made calls to people, I've had firsthand accounts trying to figure out who will I put in front of the Tuskegean alumnus of Tuskegee. Who will I put in front of them, because that's an important decision. I want to tell you, I did none of that for this morning. Not because I could not, but because I didn't have to. I know him. I know the speaker that's getting ready to go in front of you. And today, to be in this chapel is really, for me, and why I was so excited, a full circle moment. I first met the Honorable Judge Andra Sparks in this very building, downstairs in the Martin Luther King room, circa 1982. I had borrowed my roommate's dark suit. It's true, and I came over to what they called back in the day a smoker. Now that's an invitation to learn a little bit about an organization that he was in that I wanted to be in. Now what I did not know about that smoker is that I was on the menu. But that's another story for another day. But when I tell you I know him, I mean that in the most literal lived experience and sense of the word. I really do know him. I know when he courted, to use an old term. Yes, courted his now wife Karen of almost 40 years. They courted, true story, right down there on the avenue. I never seen him dress up like that. He used to dress up right down there on the avenue, hoping she'd come by that area every day. But that young lady he courted, they also produced this beautiful young lady here, Brittany, and her son, George. All of you all stand up. I knew when your mom and daddy courted. Stand up, stand up, stand up. George, now I don't know if we're going to get George to stand up. This is grandson. George, stand up. I know how he led on this campus as an Army ROTC cadet, as a student government leader, as president of his fraternity. I took a foreign language class with him. He actually learned the language. I learned how exciting it was to be at Tuskegee, preparing for not just careers, but for responsibility. I went home with him in Birmingham on the weekend. He may not remember that. I remember when he received his acceptance to law school at the University of Alabama. I watched him navigate all of the seasons of a newlywed and young father carrying real responsibilities and weight on his shoulders while in law school. I watched him pass the bar exam. I watched him emerge as a commissioned Army officer practicing the Uniform Code of Military Justice. And then I watched something over the years from afar that tells you a great deal about his judicial philosophy, in plain terms. I watched him serve justice without ever losing mercy. I watched him handle cases where obedience, conscience, and command were in tension. Cases where service members refused to follow wartime orders. I remember that. He did not approach those matters mechanically. He approached them with moral gravity, recognizing that justice is not just about rules. It's about people, circumstances, and the long shadow decisions cast on families and futures. Here's how I understand his judicial philosophy. The law must be firm, but it must also be fair. Orders matter, but humanity matters too. Accountability is required, but dignity must never be stripped away from any human being. That philosophy followed him when he made the difficult decision to leave the structure and the comforts of the U.S. Army to practice law in historical Birmingham. It means something to practice law in historical Birmingham, Alabama. That's not an easy transition. And from there, I watched him rise through a series of judicial appointments to his current role, and hear this, students. He is the presiding judge of the city of Birmingham Municipal Court, the largest municipal court in the entire state of Alabama. From that bench, he has helped mend fractured families. He's kept children in their homes during difficult seasons, and did that when it was the right thing to do. He's created pathways and forward for the people who have found themselves by their own decisions in the wilderness. He gave them, in many cases, a second chance. And that's where the prodigal son starts to sound familiar again. Because some of those who stood before him were not looking for excuses. They were looking for what? A way home. And Judge Sparks understood that justice at its best does not merely punish, it restores the human spirit. And then from way afar, I learned something else. The Honorable Judge Sparks had heard another call. Not the call to higher office, but the call to preach the gospel. He now pastors a church that heals the sick, looks after the shut-in, and speaks hope into weary lives. And when I heard that news, I smiled inside, because to me, it made perfect sense. He was still doing what he did here at Tuskegee on the yard. He was being steady. He was being dependable. He was being a shoulder to lean on like he has been for me. He was being a friend like he has been to me. So today, when we welcome him home, I want you to understand something clearly. He didn't return empty-handed. He returned having lived a life full of service, sacrifice, faith, and purpose. And just like that father in the parable, Tuskegee does not just greet him to know what he did. We greet him in celebration. So who did I decide to put in front of you? I decided to put in front of you a scholar who walked this yard and understands these students. I decided to put in front of you a man of the law who has pursued justice in uniform and in his community. I decided to put in front of you a man of faith who knows that winning souls can be a way of life. I decided to put in front of you a husband and a father who has placed family first since leaving the yard some 40 years ago. So yes, for me, this is a prodigal son moment. But make no mistake, the diligent son of Booker T never stopped working. He never stopped serving, and he never stopped believing. And so with pride, gratitude, and joy, I want you all to rise. I want you to help me welcome a faithful and a diligent son home to Mother Tuskegee, like we and only us know how to do. The Honorable Judge Sparks, to you!
Now, if this was Sunday morning at my church, I would just tell them to hold the doors, we take the offering. And I do the benediction, because this is overwhelming to me, to be honest with you, because It involves so much more than just me coming and talking to you. That's my friend. And so it brings me extreme honor to say good morning to you, and it brings me so much pleasure to say good morning, Dr. Brown. But not just Dr. Brown, I was a witness to it. Good morning, Mrs. Brown. God bless you. I was there when it happened. We thank God for you inviting us today. And I need to ask you this question before I get into whatever the Lord has given me today. Would I have to give my degree back if I say, ain't God all right? I know somebody out there besides me knows that God is all right. Yeah, ain't he all right? Won't he do it? Yeah. He's all right. And he's better to us than we could have ever imagined. He has been so good to me. And so to this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful faculty and staff, and certainly members of the Board of Trustees, to all the students who are here, the very reason for us gathering is educating young folk. To all the fellow alumni, all the classes, especially my family and friends who have literally traveled from long distances to be here with us this morning. I specifically want to say to you, while I was gone out in the wandering phase, brother, we got some new family members attached to us, and my son, who being an obedient son, is at the church working this morning, making sure that that the Lord's business is going on. Yeah. But he learned well. He sent a representative. He sent his wife. His bride is here. And so my daughter-in-law is here, Ashley, and my eldest grandson, Aiden, is here with him. I don't see Ashton, is he? Oh, he went with his dad. We're going to have to talk to him. To Dr. Duffy, the dean of the chapel, my God, bless you, God. Bless you. Bless you. You are the right man for right now in this space. If young folk don't know it, they need the Lord right now more than they ever thought. They need the Lord, and I want them to understand, as tough as things are in the world, they've been much more difficult before. Much more difficult. Yeah, I can say what I want to say. Yeah. Washington had always been on our side. All right? We've had long periods of time when we couldn't look to D.C. for tomorrow. And so I don't want you to think that just because it seems as if things are difficult that we're out of options. God has always been our primary option. And as long as he is enthroned, I'm not overly concerned about who's in the White House. I'm not overly concerned about who's in Congress, as long as God is in charge. Then I know, like any good father, he's got a responsibility to take care of his own. And so when things feel tough, just say, Father, I stretch my hand to thee. No other help I know. Yeah. Now, if he withdraws his hand, well, that's a whole nother conversation. Only God can bring you back where you started and make it seem like you never left, except you're 40 years better than when you got here. When I first arrived at Tuskegee, my mama brought me here. My mom was gone on to be with the Lord many years ago. My sister's sitting back there now. She knows she was riding with us. My mama brought me here because she knew she had a son who had a dream to do something. And she knew that for that period of time in my life, it wasn't getting done in Birmingham. I'm gonna talk to you for just a minute. I had the same problems that other young men had. I had a father at home, but we weren't connecting. He didn't know how to father me. And because of that, we didn't talk. And Mama knew I needed to get out of the house. Now, I graduated from high school, was at UAB, but Mama knew that that was to me like being in the 13th grade, all right? I needed to leave. And so Mama put me in the car. I heard somebody else's story like this. Mama brought me to Tuskegee because I had some friends here. And in one day, I got accepted, I got registered, and I got my tuition laid out here at this university. That was in the fall of 1981. January of 1982, I want you to know, my life took a 180-degree turn. Just in the span of a few weeks. And my life started a trajectory, and it has never changed since Mama brought me to where my dreams could be made. It's never changed. It's never changed. And so the opportunity to come here today and talk to you about what this university has meant to me is one that carries so much emotional turmoil for me, because I'm thinking about my mama. I'm thinking about all these mamas who know their babies and who may not be able to give them what they need themselves, but God has places for them. And one of the places they have is Tuskegee. And so I want to thank Dr. Brown for giving me this opportunity to come and talk to you, because he didn't have to do it. Lord knows there are eminently more qualified people to stand before you in the morning. But I guarantee you, of all the qualifications they have, they lack one thing that's necessary this morning. I'm his friend. Yeah, and I want to thank him for making that word mean something. I'm not a friend like you friend somebody on Facebook. No, I'm his friend. We've seen each other through life, and life hadn't always been a crystal stair. Life has been difficult in some places, and yet we've seen one another. But he's right. It was in one of those smokers where I was making that dream come true. Tuskegee was doing everything that it promises to be. It was making me better. And I was in one of those smokers, and a voice I had been in just a few, and we may have been in the same smoker. The voice that called me was a voice from a brother who's not here today, but who we all love. His name is Robert Davis. We call him Bert. Dr. Davis. He's a graduate of Tuskegee Veterinary School and has been an outstanding veterinarian and civil rights educator his entire career. Bert did something to me that all of the academicians, that all of the folk who helped in the office in Kresge did not do. See, I was doing fine academically. That was working well for me. But I met a girl. Don't every good movie start with I met a girl. And even though she was a good girl, a woman now, but I got off track. As the old folk would say, my nose was wide open. I was a fraternity brother by then, and Bert came up to the place that Alphas go mandatory. It was on the Rock. 12 o'clock on the Rock. If you were here during that time, you knew fraternity members met on the Rock every day. That's what we did. And it was just a, hey, how you doing, brother? Everything all right kind of thing. And then we'd dash off to class or lunch or whatever. But on this particular day, something happened that was uniquely Tuskegee. I was president of the fraternity. I was an SGA officer. I was a captain in the Tiger Battalion of the ROTC. As folks say, I was riding high. What mama thought could happen for me at Tuskegee was happening in spades. But my nose was wide open. And even though the only job I'd ever said I wanted was to be a lawyer, and that was a joke, by the way, at Tuskegee with all the scientific stuff, all the veterinarian, I was an arts and science major. And they kept saying to me, what you gonna do with a political science degree? And the answer was always, I'm going to law school. Anybody who knew me knew from the time I was about 6 years old, I told everybody, I'm gonna be a lawyer. I will be a lawyer. It was the dream I had, and I want to tell you this. If you tell people your dreams enough, before long, your dream will become their dream for you. All right? For you. But I was off track. And so Dr. Davis came to the Rock that day, just as we do, and he said, put me in check, Brother President, how you doing? I said, I'm doing great, brother. He said, how's the law school application process going? And I said, well, it's going all right. Evasively, because I had the applications, but I had not sent them in. I was off track. And he did something to me that made it possible for me to be here today. If he had not said what he said that day to me, I don't know if things would have turned out in this fashion. Because, as I said, I was distracted. He said, not to me, but to the other brothers on the Rock. Brothers. Brother President, pejoratively, cannot fellowship with us anymore until he takes care of his business and sends in his law school applications like he said he was going to do. So I'm sitting there looking cheap and embarrassed, and I'm like, come on, bro, what you doing? He said, no, if you're going to be a leader, then do it all the way. I left the Rock, and within the week, I had filed my law school applications like I was supposed to. But I want to tell you that when you come to a place like this, peer influence is as important as any other influence. And if you don't have folk in your circle who will check you in the places that you need to be checked, then you got the wrong folk in your circle. To this day, when I see Bert, I'm grateful to God that he didn't shrink at the moment, that he checked me like the big brother I never had in life, but always needed. And I have followed his example tooth and nail since that time to tell folk what I thought they needed to hear, whether they wanted to hear it or not. And it has advised me, Brother President, as much on the bench as any education I got from the University of Alabama School of Law. All those young folk who have come before me, more than anything, I've tried to be a brother to them and help them. And it didn't matter what color they were, because everybody needs somebody to care for. All right, and sometimes caring for you means tightening you up. Somebody ought to say amen to that. Yeah. I want to say this too. I need to say this. In the state of Alabama, historically, there have only been 4 black men who've ever sat on the Supreme Court. One of them is here today. And I want you to recognize the Honorable John England, who's a member of our Board of Trustees. Justice England is a retired circuit court judge now from Tuscaloosa. Justice England's office in Tuscaloosa when I was in law school was a block over from the law firm that I was clerking for. And Justice England, being that good Gamma Phi Alpha, always let me come in his office when I was in law school to come in and get advice from him. One street over, God will always put in your place the people who you need to help you. I never aspired to be a judge. Really, if I'm telling the truth on Sunday morning, I want to be a rich lawyer. All right? I failed at that, really. Yeah. But when being a judge becomes your job, and mine did, it became my job 2 years after I left the JAG Corps. An opportunity was presented to me, and I accepted it at the Jefferson County Family Court. And I was on the bench. And when that becomes your job, that's what you work toward. And that's what's happened for the last 30 years. I've been able to sit on the bench. And tomorrow is my last day on the bench in my career. I'm retiring from the bench, and yeah, tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. So to say that this period of time has been emotionally overloading for me is an understatement. And so when you asked me to do this, Dr. Brown, I was struggling because it's Sunday morning. And you know I am on Sunday morning. Not only is it Sunday morning, it's high season at the church. This is Palm Sunday. You know, and I'm just going to be, I'm a Baptist pastor for the last 22 years. Some folk I only see in high season now. I can't miss them. So I'm struggling between this being Palm Sunday and Founders Day at Tuskegee, but I know a God who can make it work. I know a God who can make this relevant for Palm Sunday and Tuskegee's Founders Day. And he led me to a passage of Scripture. Reverend Duffy, the passage of Scripture, I think, informs us of what Dr. Brown and the staff are trying to achieve by making the theme for Tuskegee's this period of time the Renaissance. When I saw that Dr. Brown had identified the Renaissance as a theme, I smiled because I knew what he was talking about. I knew where he was going, and if I could, he simply wants to reignite, reimagine, reestablish the environment that was in existence when he and I showed up to fulfill our dreams. Because we know what it did for us. And that kind of environment can only help make you better than when you came in. And so the passage of Scripture that the Lord led me to is one that has theological verification, and that is found in all 4 of the Gospels. All right, you'll find it in Matthew 21, you'll find it in Mark 11, Luke 19, and John 12. There's a story there. Most editorial writers in Bibles will label that passage of Scripture Jesus' triumphal entry. There's a reason why we call this Palm Sunday. It's because of how Jesus was greeted by the people when he came into Jerusalem that day. But I'm not here to just talk about Jesus. There's a backstory that's relevant to what we're here for today. Jesus told his disciples who were gathered there in all four of the passages, Luke perhaps brings it out a little bit better. He said, I want you to go over to the next city as we're coming. And there you'll find a man who has a coat and a donkey tied up. Go to him and tell him that the master has need of it. And so they went, and just as Jesus had told them, prepared them, they find a donkey with an unridden coat tied to it. And when questioned by the owner, they said just what Jesus told them to. They gave him the password. Password was, the master has need of it. And the man gave them the donkey, and the donkey was taken to Jesus for the purpose that Jesus needed it. Now, I want to talk about how this is relevant to what we're here for today. And to have to do that, I need you to look probably in a direction that you haven't looked at before. Who was the man that had the donkey? Nobody ever gives him a name. Nobody ever tells us who the donkey owner was. All I know is that the donkey owner was prepared to give his resources for Jesus when Jesus called for them. Now, when they came and asked for the donkey and the master of the donkey released the donkey, Reverend Duffy, he didn't ask for a contract. He didn't ask for any naming rights on the donkey. He didn't put a sign on the donkey that said, donkeys are us. He just released the donkey. We often remember the greats at the university, and that's wonderful because so many people have done magnificent things for the university. And if you don't know anything about this president, it's about money. All right? Because that's what makes us the university that we need to be. We all embrace that. But I also want to tell you that there are some people whose names we'll never know, who do wonderful things to help the university move forward. There are some people who simply are prepared to give. And so the story that's in the Bible, to me, is significant because it ties into the story of our founding from Principal Washington. You see, if you read up from slavery, and if you haven't, then shame on you. You should read it, particularly if you connected to Tuskegee. If you're a student here, you should have read it. Around the 8th or 9th chapter, Dr. Washington has talked about all his formative years and what he's gone through, and he starts getting into getting help for the university. And there are two stories in there that show us what he thought about people who gave to the university. And I read it, and they jumped out at me immediately. The very first person who gave an animal to the university, who donated an animal, was someone who perhaps might not have been considered immediately a friend to the university, all right? But he was. It was an older white farmer from Macon County. Now, this is in 1881. He brought to Dr. Washington the first animal donated to this university. The first animal donated was a blind horse. A blind horse was the first animal donated to Tuskegee. Man is not named, but clearly his gift made a difference. You ask, what can you do with a blind horse? Well, if a blind horse can't do anything else, it can make another horse. All right? Dr. Washington, we grown, and Dr. Washington went on to say, soon they had a whole farm full of animals. But the second gift that's found, Dr. Washington, Principal Washington goes into detail talking about this woman who came into his office, an older black woman. From her appearance, she had on tattered, older clothes, but they were clean, his words. And when she came in, and she told him that she was there to give a gift to the school. She wanted to help educate our colored children. She was a former slave woman who had spent most of her life in slavery. But she understood what Principal Washington was trying to create, and she presented to him in a handkerchief 6 eggs. 6 eggs that she had been saving because she wanted to help educate young black children, boys and girls, as she said. Dr. Brown, your predecessor said, of all the gifts he received, this one touched him more than any other. And so one asked, what do you do with 6 eggs? Somebody out there's hungry. You're thinking wrong. 6 eggs become a memento that you put, and when all others come in, you can say, folk gave all they had. People saved who would never benefit from this university so that you could have a better life. 6 eggs and a blind horse is the foundation of this university. 6 eggs and a blind horse is what you stand on right now. 6 eggs and a blind horse from people who had, they wouldn't draw any education from Tuskegee themselves, yet they understood the necessity of creating an institution that would make us better. 6 eggs and a blind horse. Now, I need you to understand, this is not an unfamiliar theme. If you look in the treasury of Tuskegee, I'm sure there are some other strange gifts. That's not unlike the Bible. Jesus had a treasury full of strange gifts. Yeah, people always talk about silver and gold, but that's not what's in Jesus' cabinet. No. If I use my sanctified mind, I know this, that if you look in Jesus' cabinet, what you're going to find is 2 mites. If you know church, you know that 2 mites came in the offering one Sunday from a woman Jesus said that no one had ever given more than this woman with 2 mites. Yeah, 2 mites. If you look in Jesus' cabinet, you'll also find a broken alabaster vase. Yeah, if you look in his cabinet, you'll find things that don't make sense from a financial standpoint. But those folk had more faith in what Jesus Christ was doing. And what we're looking for is folk who got faith in Tuskegee. I need you to understand that faith will make you open up your treasury. Yeah, my old pastor used to say, if you got a person's heart, then you got his pocket. And I found it to be true, that once we connect you to the purpose, your purse is soon to follow. And if you don't understand why we need to educate young folk now, then you haven't understood our purpose yet. That's why he can stand flat-footed and say all the time, it is about money. It's about money. But everybody has something, 6 eggs, and a blind horse. Everybody has something that they can give. And so I'm going to say this, and I'm going to sit down and shut up. Or don't say that to a black pastor now. I had more pages. I'm trying to tighten it up. Yeah. The man with the donkey, the woman with the eggs, the gentleman with the horse teach us the power of the invisible. Oh yeah, the power of simply being ready when the time comes. And they provide, if you will, the infrastructure of success. These people were prepared in the shadows so that the miracle could happen in the light. Hear me again now. There are people who are prepared in the shadows. They don't want the recognition. They just want to help. They just want to give to the need that somebody has. The power of the invisible. When Principal Washington created this institution, he created an institution that was for anybody who wanted to work hard, be honorable, and help other people. Part of what we have to do when we come through this university is not get it and can it and keep it. We have a responsibility once we get it to help somebody else. And if you read up from slavery, the book is all about how people got the education, working hard to get it, but their immediate response to receiving their own education was turning around and helping somebody else. Because that gives it meaning when you help somebody else. You're gonna get yours, but you gotta make sure that as you climb, you're pulling somebody else up with you. And so you say, well, I don't know, that might not be why I came here. I came to tell you that if you're part of this university, if you graduated from this university, it's in you. It's in you already now, just like the fruit of the Spirit. Yeah, what grows is what gets watered. Okay? And perhaps you're not using that particular fruit. Yeah, the gift of giving. But you got it in you. How do I know that? Because it's in you as a student of Tuskegee. It is inalienable. All right? It's fundamental. It's in the Macon County soil that you came into. It's in you. Are you using it? You have, with every degree that leaves here, the academic discipline and rigor of Booker T. Washington. It's in every degree. You have in you the creativity of George Washington Carver. It's in every degree. You have the courage of the Tuskegee Airmen. It's in every degree. You even have the joy of ball and parlay. It's in every degree. You got it. You got the spirit of Tuskegee in you. Yeah, when you matriculated through this glorious institution, you got to a place that was centered on the intersection, and your degree centers you on the intersection of human need and giftedness. And what you have is perfectly suited to solve the world's most pressing problems. When a TU student meets their moment, something amazing happens. Now, I'm not sure how other institutions define their mission, but I can tell you how it works here because I've lived it. We are created, we are designed, and we are built to solve the problems of this world. That's what we come to school for. History has a full database of achievements from folks connected to Tuskegee University. We also have the ability to make a moment. If history doesn't even know it needs it yet, Tuskegee graduates can make a moment happen. How do I know? Ask any former student, ask anyone who's ever read anything about George Washington Carver. He made the moment for farmers in Alabama. They didn't know what they needed until he told them what they needed, and he saved a farming industry. He made the moment. Yeah. Ask Lonnie Johnson. He made the moment. When he used the engineering prowess that he got from Tuskegee University, he made the moment that the world needed, and look at how far that has taken him personally and professionally. He made the moment. So what's essential to understand from every one of us is that all the work we do matters. Each one of us matter. Some of us make headlines, most do not, but we still make a difference. Some invent big things, most do not, but we still make big things work better. Some establish new pathways, most do not. We just make sure that the path stays clear for others to come. I certainly didn't invent the justice system. I just made sure that the justice system worked for everybody that I came in contact with. Yeah, for everybody who came before me, I had to make sure that justice was a reality for them. You have the spirit in you too. This is the spirit of Renaissance that the president has been talking about. That's why everything around here has some Renaissance attached to it. Lyceum Engagement Series is the Renaissance. Athletic Renaissance. Tuskegee, Mr. and Ms. Home, Mr. and Ms. TU, the Renaissance. Everything is the Renaissance. We're trying to tap into what we know works. You have the spirit in you because you're part of the TU family. If your career or educational foundation was conceived in the womb of this educational institution, you have it. If your professional gestational period was nourished in Tompkins or Logan or Chappie, or if your bassinet was OD or Murray or White, or in my day, Residence Hall, C or E, you have this spirit in you. Yeah, if you got your professional preschool in Huntington or Armstrong or Chambliss or Sage Hall, then I know the spirit is in you. And if I ever hear you proclaim loudly, you know whenever somebody says the 20th and 21st alphabet in close succession, you got it in you. You got it in you. Tuskegee spirit is a part of each degree, each experiment conducted, each white coat donned, each ROTC uniform that is ever put on by any student here. 6 eggs and a blind horse are your heritage. What can you do with 6 eggs and a blind horse? Well, in the right hands, you can do a whole lot. Yeah, you can create a vet school, one that cares for blind horses. Yeah. And all other kind of animals. Yeah. What can you do with 6 eggs and a blind horse? You can create a university that puts out pilots that the world didn't know it needed. You can create farmers and the supportive staff that help to make the economy in this state function the way it's supposed to. 6 eggs and a blind horse can create a university that staffs hospitals and courthouses. 6 eggs and a blind horse can create a university that builds roads and schools. We can design them and put them up. We can do every part of it with 6 eggs and a blind horse. And so, but don't forget that not everybody is going to be seen in the process. Some will just fill in the gaps behind. There also are those who need to understand the second thing that man had with that donkey. He showed us the spirit of being quietly ready. Ready. The man with the donkey was quietly waiting on the call. Didn't have all the ability to communicate like we do today, but he was ready for the moment when the master called. He was waiting with the resource that he had to give. He had made preparation, and when the time came and he was called upon to help, he simply provided what he had. Some of you have got some coats that need to be tied up and waiting on the call to come. What coat do you have that's waiting on the master to call you? You need to identify all the resources that God has blessed you with. Yeah, and I challenge you to say that God has, because I started out, it was a setup. I ask you, anybody in here knows that God's been good to you? Yeah, it was a setup because I know he's been good to you. And all of you started cheering and shouting and saying, yeah, he's been good to me. Well, if he's been so good to you, you need to be good to somebody else. What is your coat? Maybe it's your network. Maybe it's your skills. You need them tied. Maybe it's simply your good name that you use to help a student get further down the road. Maybe it's the reference that you give that the student doesn't even know you call their name and allow them to get a benefit. Find out what your professional coat is. Tie it and have it ready so that when one of the disciples from the university comes, when one of the folk from, if Jesus had a development office, when they call and say, what you got that can help us? When they call, you got to have a coat tied up already, waiting on them. You got to move from simply being an owner to a facilitator. That's what happened with this owner of this donkey. He became a facilitator of a moment in history just by giving Jesus the donkey for him to ride on. You too can become the facilitator of a moment in history just by helping some of these young folk get on down the road. And so I'm challenging you, my friends, to join the ready state. I'm challenging you to just give a little bit of your resources. Just have it ready. I'm challenging you to fill the treasury. Give to the unseen need. The laptop that falls running through the airport and breaks that somebody's got to help get fixed. They need a fund for that. The student who can't get home because somebody in their life passed away quickly and nobody has the money to get them there. They need a fund for that. Yeah, their mama and daddy work for TSA and haven't gotten a paycheck in 3 periods. Can't send their baby no money. They need a fund for that. Somebody out here has got the coat ready, and when the development office calls and say the master, the university has need of it, then reach into your strange treasury and pull out a little bit of it just so you can help somebody. Last thing I'll tell you is this. It's not hard. I know people scam us all the time, try to get over. What I love about the man who owned the donkey is that he didn't do a background check. When they came, the disciples came in their disciple clothes, whatever they had on. I don't know if they had on a uniform or whatever. They simply gave the password, and he gave what they had. I came to tell you, he trusted them to do what they needed to do. If there's anybody in the world I trust to take us to the heights that we need to go, if there's anybody that I know needed to be in office for such a time as this, if God would have said, Andre, who should be president of Tuskegee University right now? I can tell you that not only would I have answered, but everybody who was here would have said, well, we called him Mr. President when he was online. And here today, I came to tell you that Dr. Mark Anthony Brown is the man for the time. Trust him, trust him, trust him to get us to higher heights. May God bless him. May God bless you. And may God bless Tuskegee University. God bless.
Good morning. I would like to call all of our choir alumni to the choir stand and join us in the singing of Ain't It That Good News. Thank you.
Let's give the alumni choir a round of applause. Let me ask, if we could, the family of Booker T. Washington and Lewis Adams, if you would stand and come here for just a second. If you are here, I know that some of you are here. Just come, if you will, and join me on the stage. I think it is important. I know we didn't tell you, but if you don't mind, if you'll just come up here. Actually, come right here, man. That area. And I'd like the mayor, Mayor Reed, to come as well. Mayor Lee, excuse me. Mayor Lee. Mayor Lee. Mayor Lee. Important that I get that correction in there. Mayor Lee. I wanted you all to see the importance of this city and this school and what their compromise, their family's compromise, gave us. It's not lost on me that Lewis Adams could have said, I'll just take a nice house for myself and I'll get you the votes you need, because that's what this was about. Booker T. Washington could have said, I'm satisfied here in Hampton, Virginia as a teacher. But instead, they gave of themselves. They gave of themselves, just as the judge said to us earlier. They gave what they had. In their case, they gave the rest of their lives to Tuskegee. And I don't want you to miss this historical moment, and I want to thank them on behalf of this entire university. Thank you all for what you have done. Let's give them a round of applause. As they leave, if I could ask Judge Sparks if you would go downstairs, right here to the center, and have your wife and your family, your entire family, join you right there, if you would. All of those. Now, George may not wake up. George, it's up to you. And I'd also like to ask Mr. Ernest and Jacqueline Foster if you would join as well. On 15 April, come on down, 1922, look at this family, come on down. Sculptor Charles Keck dedicated the Booker T. Washington Monument entitled Lifting the Veil of Ignorance to the Tuskegee, at the time, Normal and Industrial Institute campus. Nearly a century following the initial dedication, layers of grime, dirt, and other contaminants had tarnished the original finishing of the monument. In 2018, Provision Contracting Services of Tuskegee offered their services to restore the statue. And then when alumni and photographers, Ernest L. Foster II, aerospace engineering class of 1997, and Jacqueline M. Foster, computer science class of 1999 of then Family Visions Photography, returned to Mother Tuskegee for what? For homecoming 2018. They created a rendition of the visual image titled Lift It. Please, if you will, lift the veil. Usually when people take a picture of the monument, the focus is specifically on Booker T. Washington. However, as graduates of the university, their emphasis was placed on portrayal of the veils being lifted from the diligent sons and daughters of Booker T. Washington. The Foster's image was copyrighted with the Library of Congress on 21 April 2019 and is currently being sold as a limited edition with a numbered prints not exceeding 100 today, I believe. Today, we are happy to present the judge and his family and Miss Karen with this limited edition on behalf of being diligent sons and daughters of Mother Tuskegee. Thank you all.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Founders Day. My name is Crystal Piles, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Senior Director of Alumni and Constituent Engagement within the Division of Development and Alumni Engagement. And so it is an honor to be here before you today. I will begin before we do our class presentations. As we honor those that we have here with us today, it is very important that we take a moment to honor those who are no longer with us. And so I will take a moment to read the names of those who have transitioned. For the class of 1951, we have Elizabeth T. Wood, Juanita P. Carroll, William A. English, Andrew C. Reeves. For the class of 1956, Shirley H. Gale. For the class of 1961, Clifford O. Rutledge, Julius Chapman. For the class of 1966, James T. Bradford, Buford L. Dennis, Elijah Carter, Roy L. Mackey, Sarah Lindsay, Ed B. Massey, Barbara J. Scott Helm, Norman E. Davis. For the class of 1971, Anna and Purify, David Schaefer, Betty J. Baldwin. And this concludes our transition alumni. So please let us take a moment of silence to reflect, honor, and remember those who have touched our lives and shaped our journey. Thank you. At this time, it is an honor to call our class representatives. I will call each of your classes and ask that you make your way to the front of the stage. And so each of our classes had a goal of $50,000 to raise. And so can we give our classes a round of applause for supporting Mother Tuskegee? So I will begin with the class of 1951. If we have any members of the class of 1951 or family members, would you please stand at this time to be recognized? And the class of 1951 has raised $1,030.82. May I please ask the class of 1956 and any family members to please stand to be recognized for the class of 1956. And they have raised $3,510.91. At this time, I will ask Ms. Torbert to take the mic over to our class agent, Dr. Elaine C. Harrington, for the class of 1961. If you are here for the class of 1961, would you please stand to be recognized?
Do I make my announcement? I see I have another member of the class of 1961 we are 65 years old at TU, as TU graduates. And we want to proudly, Mr. President, present to Tuskegee University, our alma mater, $100,000. $100,000. And more is on the way. And more is on the way. $100,000.
At this time, I will ask the class representative for the class of 1966 to please make your way to the center. And I will ask Dr. Brown and Reverend Johnson to also meet them at the center. For the class of 1966, Ms. Torbert, would you please pass Mr. Blunt the mic? And
thank you. Well, slight correction. The class of 1966 had a goal of $150,000, not $50,000. My name is Wilson Blunt, and I'm the class agent for the class of 1966. With the class of 1966, please stand. Hoorah! I would also like to say a thank you to my class agents, Ruby Taylor Drake and Tommy Johnson. They were instrumental in helping us reach our goal. And one other thing, Mr. President, where are you? Oh, Mr. President, I'd just like to say that we didn't have a donkey to present to you, but let me just say we found a few other useful tools for you. And I'll just say some of the members of our class attended Booker T. Washington elementary schools, okay? And some of us used that as a starting grounds to make it to this school. And so we just let you know about that background. We want to let you know also, sir, that we have this little check for you in the Tuskegee in the amount of $161,287.34. Oh. Thank you. Mr. President, we hope you can find a couple donkeys to buy with this month. Yes, sir.
thank you. At this time, I will ask the class representatives for the class of 1971 to please make their way to center stage. Now, Dr. Fleming did ask me to pivot, and so I want to take a moment to acknowledge that the last time that this class was in reunion was in 2021 during COVID. And so their 50th reunion, they did not have an opportunity to be here today. So can we ask all of the members of the class of 1971 to please stand to be recognized and give them a standing ovation. And if Ms. Tolbert would please bring the mic to our class representatives.
Hello. My name is Willa Hall Smith. I'm one of the class agents for our class, along with Tony Haney, who was the president of our class back on the yard. And Lily Lanier, who has been the TNAA, the Tuskegee University National Alumni Association, for 300 years. and Carrie D. Ampert Gratter, another class agent. Before I go further, I would like to recognize we have so much money to collect that we need others to help us make that collection. So the class agents decided to have a steering committee, and I would like for them to be recognized. The former dean of students here at Tuskegee, Peter Spears. All right, that's enough for him. That's enough. Followed by retired Navy Commander Dennis Johnson. We have Patricia Mason, Cindy Mason, Cindy Purdy, Dr. Cynthia Smith, retired professor of Alabama A&M. Who else? Paulette Moncrief. Who else? Janice Jefferson Golston. Who else? First Vice President of Tuskegee University Alumni Association. Oh, this class is so marvelous. Mr. President, I would like to recognize the Renaissance era class of 1971. Will you please stand?
Dr. Brown, other classes that are here today, alumni and friends. Of course, I'm Lily Lanier, and we want to give a shout out to the class of 1951 and the class of 1958. 56 rather, I'm sorry. They are the ones that set the pace for us. And we saw one person here on Friday evening, and so we just want to say thank you to them for setting the pace and setting the example for us. Okay, so let's give them a hand of applause. On behalf of the class, drum roll. Okay, on behalf of the class of 1971, the class of 1971, we're very proud to present $159,026.12. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, at this time, it is an honor. Can I get a drum roll, please? I would like to call up the golden class of 1976.
Thank you. Yes, this is the Jubilee. I think the Bible used that. I like it better. I do love gold, but I like Jubilee better. My name is Fred Holyfield, Captain, United States Navy, retired. I was a reconnaissance pilot, and I am a clothing major. I would like to invite Colonel Pat Clay, nursing student, along with my wife, 50 years. Please stand. And I'd like for all of the class of 1976, the bicentennial year. Now we are called semi-sequential, I guess. Semi-quince something, but 250. So please stand. Our total we gave was $146,390.31. We want to thank you very, very much for that. And while we up, since this is our Jubilee, we are honored to also give a little what I did at 25 years as well. So here we go. Dear class of 76, 108 Founders Day. On the occasion of our 50th anniversary, your Jubilee, Pat and I extend our deepest and most heartfelt gratitude to each of you. Your extraordinary collection gift of 146,390.31 stands as a powerful statement to your enduring commitment, generosity, and shared legacy. This milestone is not simply a reflection of financial support, but of unity, pride, and the lasting bond you continue to hold with one another and with our alma mater, which means mother away from home. And you know that's a good thing. To those who were able to give and attend, thank you for showing up in both presence and purpose. To those who gave but could not attend, your contribution is equally meaningful and deeply appreciated. And to those wishes to give but were unable to do so at this time, please know that your spirit, goodwill, and continued support remain invaluable to this community. It is our collective heart of the class of 76, both Pat and I, expressed through generosity, encouragement, and connection that makes this moment so significant. Your contributions in every form have strengthened the foundation for future generations and honor the legacy you have built over the past 5 decades. From the bottom of our hearts, of course, the Colonel and I, once again, thank you all for your unwavering support, your generosity, and your continued dedication to our alma mater, Mother Away from Home, the big TU. With sincere appreciation, Godspeed, Fred Holyfield and Pat Clay. No person can be a great leader unless they take genuine joy in the success of those under them. W.A. Nass. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And at this time, I will ask my class representative for the class of 1981, the Centennial class, to please make their way to the center stage.
All right, good morning. In the absence of our class agents, Robert Mosby of the class of 81 and Cynthia Lay of the class of 81, I am here to represent the Centennial class. Would you all please stand back there, the 100-year class. My name is... My name is Deborah Fields, and I bring greetings from Gainesville, Florida, where I am fulfilling the assignment. I got my education degree right here, and I am in my 43rd year of teaching at Buchholz High School in Gainesville, Florida. And I got my education degree right here. So we would like to present to Mother Tuskegee in the amount of $41,797.23.
Thank you very much. Now we're going to pivot just a little bit one more time. I would like to ask all of the members of the class of 1986, which is our youngest class celebrating their very first Founders Day, to please make their way to the center of the room.
All right, good morning. I think it's still morning. I am Eric Sapp, graduate of Tuskegee University, 1986, electrical engineering, and I'm proud today to represent our class to come before you. I've been asked to give the impact of the class of 1986. And we have donations totaling $62,301.19. But we have one more thing of immeasurable value, priceless, you might say. My good friend, my brother, Dr. Mark Anthony Brown, class of 1986. Thank you so much.
Thank you all very much. So at this time, I'm going to ask all of my class representatives to please come to the center of the stage along with Dr. Brown and Reverend Johnson as we get ready to announce the grand total amongst all of the classes. May I please have the check? All of my class representatives, class agents. And I want to take a moment here to give a special thank you from the bottom of my heart to each and every person that you see standing up here today, as they have worked tirelessly with me for the past few months on Zoom calls. So can we please give them a round of applause? They have worked so hard in keeping the spirit of Mother Tuskegee alive. And so thank you all very much. So for the grand total for this year's Founders Day, we have $700,857. Thank you all so very much, and I would be remiss if I did not take a moment to acknowledge Dr. John Douglas Chambers as well, who is a former Board of Trustee member, the class of 1971. Would you please stand, Dr. Chambers? Thank you so very much for being here today. President Brown and Reverend Johnson, thank you very much.
Good morning. To the dais, Dr. Mark Brown. To the Honorable Sparks. I love it. That's what a brother will give you. I appreciate that. What a special message. We thank you for those powerful words. I am Jerry Johnson, class of 94, 97, mechanical engineering. I'm your Tuskegee National Alumni Association first vice president. Dr. Quincy had to return back, as we know as a pastor. Today is very special. So he's just asked me to give some words of encouragement and move on. At this time, I would like to ask the members of Tuskegee National Alumni Association, Tuskegee Executive Board, who are present to please stand. Please remain standing if you would. If there are any regional or club officers, please stand as well. Representing, please stand. Very good, there's some more. Please remain standing as well. And now, all alumni, please stand as we celebrate today, your day, the day that you decided to give back. Please, all alumni to stand. All alumni, so we give you a round of applause. You may now be seated. I come this morning to bring alumni greetings on this sacred occasion. The Honorable Sparks, I don't know, I think the Holy Spirit was talking to me last night as well when I was putting some notes together. So I'm going to stay exactly on the notes just so you know how the Holy Spirit works. To those alum who have traveled across the country to celebrate your reunion years, and those alum and family members that come to celebrate with them, we thank you. We thank you for sharing your time, your talent, and your treasure. We gather today connected by the Tuskegee spirit, a spirit that has never been confined to classroom or campuses, but one that has shaped leaders, stimulated innovators, and launched change agents across generations. The Tuskegee spirit is not abstract. It is alive. It is active, and it is present. To our university leaders and faculty, your stewardship ensures that Tuskegee not only endures, but evolves, leads, and defines what excellence looks like in the ever-changing world. To our fellow alum, you are the evidence, the living proof of Tuskegee's impact. Carry on its mission into the boardrooms, the community, the industries, and the institutions around the globe. To our students, you are not just the future. You are the continuation of a standard that refuses to be compromised. You are the next expression of greatness. It is your time, and it is now. This 108th Founders Day has been more than a gathering. It has been a reaffirmation of our commitment to leadership, to service, and to our collective rise. As we prepare to leave these sacred grounds, let not us leave unchanged. Let us be intentional in our Renaissance era, intentional in building relationships that strengthen and elevate the Tuskegee brand, intentional in recruiting and investing in our next generation, intentional in advancing the legacy that was entrusted to each of us. Because together, we do more than just remember history. We continue to rise. I thank you for this day. My last point is, we will have a phenomenal opportunity called the 22nd Tuskegee National Alumni Biennial Convention, taking place July 30th through August 2nd in Memphis, Tennessee. Our theme is Tuskegee Rising, honoring our legacy, shaping our future. It will reflect both the strength of our pride, heritage, and the promise of our bold future. If you can, please join us. It's been my honor and my privilege, and I thank you.
Dr. Barr, would you come forward, please, quickly? Is he still there? Dr. Barr? President Brown told us on yesterday that the university choir is the only auxiliary here at Tuskegee that is not included in the budget. And we're going to fix that. Because this choir, we're going to fix that. The Tuskegee choir down through the years has represented Tuskegee University, Tuskegee Institute with the highest quality. And we're going to begin the budget process today, Mr. President. Dr. Barr, we're going to begin the practice today. Dr. Quincy, the president, has asked me to give $200 on his name. I have $800 for a total of $1,000 to the Tuskegee University Golden Voices Choir. Now listen. We are making this presentation today in honorable memory of Dr. Marveline Hughes, who was a member of the choir. We want you to please support this choir. In fact, they're getting ready to go on tour in the next few weeks. Please, just make your check to Tuskegee University, and in the memo, put Tuskegee University Golden Voices Choir. All right? T.U. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Doctor. And she's right. We are going to fix that. And we're going to make sure these golden voices are seen around the world as representing Tuskegee University, because that's the right thing to do. So we're going to do it. They work very hard. I want to tell you that you can do a whole lot with 6 eggs and a blind horse. Okay? You all have shown me that all weekend, and you've shown your love, you've shown us your dedication, and you've given us your time, and you've given us your treasure, and you've worked all the way getting up to this. So I want to thank you for that from the bottom of my heart. There is no Tuskegee without you. You are Tuskegee. Tuskegee is a matter of its products, the people that have come through here, the people who can speak firsthand about what she can do, and that's what you all give us when you come here today. I want to make sure I recognize the reason that I get to do this, and that is my roommate of almost 36 years. So if you would stand up. And I will tell my students, as I always do, get yourself a good roommate. Get yourself a good roommate, and hang on to them. Everything that we do, I think, out of love for this university, and really out of the love for mankind. Because Tuskegee goes well beyond the boundaries that you think when you think of just the geographical region of Tuskegee. We are a worldwide brand. Everybody, and if they don't know, they need to know about the touches of Mother Tuskegee. This weekend is our chance to talk about that. So you'll hear us continue to talk about this Renaissance era all year long and for the next several years as we bring to fruition the dreams that we talk about, the visions that we attempt to paint when we talk to you. It's not just talk, it is real. It is real. We're going to bring that to these sacred grounds once again. So again, I thank you for all that you've given. I thank you, Brother Sparks, for touching our hearts. I knew it. I knew when we called it that we're going to have a little church. I knew that, by the way, as well as a speech. Thank you all so much for coming. God bless you, and Godspeed. And I believe we're getting ready to sing the Tuskegee song.
Let us stand.
For the birth of the teaching, the joy of thy care.
Let us remain standing for the benediction and receive the choral response from the choir. With every head bowed, every eye closed. We thank you, O God, for what our eyes have seen, for what our ears have heard, and for what our hearts have felt. We thank you for the gift of Tuskegee University. We also give you praise for the gift of the Honorable Judge Andra Sparks, and for the reminder, O God, that we can do much with an unridden horse, 6 eggs, and a blind horse. And even as we celebrate this Palm Sunday, we give you thanks that though they may cry Hosanna on Sunday and crucify on Friday, that there is a resurrection, a renaissance that awaits Tuskegee University. The poet writes, and now I said to the one who stood at the gate, give me a light that I might go out to the darkness, out into the unknown. The one replied, go out to the darkness, go out to the unknown. But put your hand in the hand of God, and God will be for you better than light and much safer than known way. May God bless and keep you. May God's face forever shine upon you now and grant you peace, both now and forevermore. Let us all say, amen.